Okay, guys, I am recording this session, so I'm just letting you know that I'm recording this session. Okay, please continue, Monica.
Hi guys. So today I'll be just giving a brief introduction to Ansible. So Ansible is one of the DevOps tools. Like uh, uh, we already know about like Gitbocker, like AWS, Confluence, and Jira. It's similar to them. It's another tool used in DevOps, and I'll just yeah. So this is the basic structure of Ansible, where you have provisioning, orchestration, automation, push-based, configuration management, and application deployment. So I'll just tell you briefly what Ansible is. So it is used for automation, configuration, and also it is a provisioning tool. So what is meant by provisioning? Like if we go with the literal meaning, provisioning is providing or supplying what is needed. So Ansible provides the required software packages, etc., and it installs in your computer in order to run the application. For example, if you take like a debug version of an application which is written in C++, and if you want to run the application, you would need few prerequisites. So Ansible will let you download the prerequisites through a YAML file. So I'll tell how to write the YAML file in the next slide, but let's see the other things now. So configuration management. Configuration management, it's like managing the software on your hardware. So it helps all the historical data of the application, and also if you want to install the same C++ application on 200 systems, you would need a tool to configure everything in one go, because if you go to every system and install everything, it takes a lot of time, and also we can get prone to many errors. So you would need a tool to configure everything in one go. So here you will need to write all the configuration in a playbook. Playbook is uh, Playbook is the YAML file. So there you'll write all the required configurations, and then you can just deploy it in whichever computer or whichever system you want to install it. So the computers which you want to install are called as nodes in Ansible. So Ansible and also the other configuration tools. So nodes here, the main the main computer, the main system, acts as a central server, and the remaining systems acts like nodes. So if you want to install a C++ application into 100 systems, you would just write a YAML code and then run the YAML code in the 100 systems. You can just push the code, and then it will get installed. So that is about the push based also. So here the push based helps the YAML code to just get pushed into the node servers. Also, if we see in the before this one, uh, there is chef and there is yeah. So there is chef. So here it is a pull based system. Pull based system. So in pull based, what happens is there a server or there a client also appears. I'll just show you here. Yeah. This is push configuration and this is pull configuration. So if you see here in push configuration, there is a centralized server which is the main server. and there are nodes. Nodes are the other systems where you want to deploy your application or anything. So the centralized server pushes configuration onto the node. So here, if you want to install something on the nodes, it will just push the configurations to the nodes. But whereas in the pull configuration, the nodes dynamically update themselves with the configurations present in the server. So here the nodes have the communication with the centralized server continuously, and they poll centralized server periodically for updates. Like they continuously poll the server. Like if the server has any updates, it won't tell the node, but the node has to periodically poll for the updates. Whereas in the push configuration, centralized server, whenever there is an update, it will directly push to the node. So push configuration is used by Ansible, and pull configuration is used by the other ones like yeah. So push configuration is used by Ansible and Salt, and pull configuration is used by Puppet, Chef, etc. So as given, like server in push configuration, server calls the client. So the client doesn't make any communication with the server, but the server only calls the client. And also immediate remote execution. So whenever there is an update, it will directly uh, update the node without the node calling the server. Whereas in pull, the client calls the server. So the client calls the server for any update. Like it will call the server for updates, and then no immediate remote execution. So for suppose like in Puppet and Chef, if we make a if we make an update and the node doesn't make any communication with the centralized server, then it almost takes like 30 minutes to get updated in the node. Whereas here there is an immediate execution, and here there is no immediate execution, and it uh, it should continuously call for the server. And this is used in Puppet and Chef. So the features of Ansible are this is very simple to install, and it is agentless and uses SSH. So simple to install. It is actually very simple. You should just go to the main website, and just you have all the commands to install Ansible. And once the Ansible is installed in the main server, you can have a number of virtual machines on the system. And if you want to install any particular thing on one system, you can just use few commands written in YAML code, and then just directly run the YAML code. And this is agentless. So what is agentless? Actually, agentless is it doesn't depend on anything. It is an automation tool, so it doesn't depend on anything. It automatically deploys once the YAML code is run. So whereas in Puppet and Chef, you actually have a Puppet client or a Puppet server where the nodes communicate with the Puppet client, and the Puppet client communicates with the centralized server. Like if you can see here, this is the centralized server, and in the Puppet you will have another Puppet client. And whenever the node needs any update, it will communicate with the Puppet client. And if there are any updates, the Puppet client will update the node. But whereas in push, we don't have any clients here. Therefore, it is called as agent, and it uses SSH. So SSH is like a secure key. So it helps in maintaining the secure communication between the nodes and the central server. So if you see here, this is the Ansible management node. So this is the virtual machine. If it, this is a virtual machine, and you will have a host inventory, playbook, and like different hosts again. So this host inventory is a file where you give all the the host IP addresses. So this is a virtual machine. It has an IP address of this like 10.0.15.21. So this is given in the host inventory. So you don't need to write the host IP address every time. So if you just write it in the host inventory, it will directly get stored host inventory. And if you see here, it is the SSH trust. So this is the key between the central the security and it maintains a secure communication between the node and central system. And this is the playbook. Uh, Hello, are you getting the video?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, we are getting it.
So this is the playbook. So playbooks contains plays where the play contains different tasks and the tasks contain different modules. So I'll explain that in detail in the next slide. So this is the architecture. So in the architecture, if we are doing this in the public cloud or the private cloud, the main block, if we this is the Ansible, where it has the host inventory. As I said, the host inventory is the host IP addresses. It gets stored in this file. Contains the contains modules. So there are two modules which are core modules and custom modules. Like core modules are there are different number of modules already available in the Ansible. Like you must be knowing about sudo or apt, copy, file, services, etc. So there are already uh, modules available in the Ansible, which are core modules. And the custom modules are the modules which you can customize according to the application. So whenever you run a playbook, these modules get run, and then accordingly that will get installed on the host module. And the connection plugins are as I said, the Ansible uses SSH. It it need not be SSH every time, so you can use any other connection plugin as well. So you don't need an SSH all the time. For example, Ansible also provides a Docker container plugin, so you can use the Docker container plugin as a connection plugin here. So here, this is the playbook example, where in the playbook starts with three hyphens, and then the host is a web server where you give the tasks here. So the task in the task we say that install nginx web server. So for example, you have 5 systems, and then you want to install nginx in one system. So you should just write the write the system's IP address. So IP address in the host inventory. So the task in the playbook is to install nginx web server, where the package is nginx, the state is installed. So if the server gets installed, it will show that it's installed, and the update cache is true as it's getting installed. And notify start nginx. So this is like a basic playbook example. Like it is very simple. So if you see the playbook here, the playbook which we have written, just it gets sorry? Okay. So the playbook, if there are 5 servers, and one server acts as a central server. So this central server will have the Ansible like the main central Ansible. And then if you want to install NGINX on one system, the the host IP address will get stored in the host inventory here. And then in the playbook, we'll just write the code like I want to install NGINX in this system. So you just need to run the playbook with an extension called YML. So this can be run on any OS, like the Ansible can run on Ubuntu, Linux, Windows, or any OS. So you have certain codes for different OS. Like for Linux, you have different codes, and for Windows, you need to do that in PowerShell. So it's just like that. So if you want to write the playbook, you can just write it in like the Notepad++ with an extension YML. So with the playbook, like you don't need to install like on every system manually. Like if you have 100 systems, you can just push the playbook from the central system to all the uh, systems, so that it will get installed directly instead of sending everything to sending the instructions to every single system. It will directly, if you have the IP addresses of all the systems in the inventory, like the host inventory, it will directly send everything to the nodes. And also, uh, even if it's getting installed or not, everything gets updated in the Ansible. So if any problem is like if you arise any problem in one of the systems, it will get updated in the Ansible management. So that you can see in the Ansible. So this is for the presentation. If possibly, I'll show on how to install Ansible and how to install another service using Ansible maybe in the next section.
Cool. Thank you. Any questions from anyone?
Yeah, in pull configuration, can you explain that Puppet again? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
sure.
get it exactly, actually.
Okay. So, so Puppet uses full configuration, okay, and Ansible uses push. So in full configuration, it uh, it also has a full, I mean, the Puppet client. Like in between the central server and the node, it has a Puppet client here.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Monica. So
Yeah.
Asta, to keep it simple, there will be always one service running in the client machines. So
Okay.
which will be looking in the master service for any changes. So it will continuously poll if there is any change. So
Okay.
whenever there is a change, it will update the change in the client machine.
Client
So that is
yeah.
pulling the changes.
Okay.
Yeah,
in
but
pushing,
whereas
yeah,
in pushing
Push
there is no client or agent. So whenever there is an update, it will directly push
directly.
all the
Yeah.
updates.
yeah.
Just for in here, like in the full configuration, nodes wait for the update from the client. So there is no immediate execution here. Whereas in push, whenever there is an update, it will just directly push to the.
Can I?
Yes.
So, like from my big ignorance in this backend field and this calls and stuff, but in a way we can say in the pull configuration, the node is asking, is there a change? Is there a change? Is there a change?
Yes.
So it's always working. While in the push
Yes.
configuration, it's the server that says, hey, I have a change. Here you go. Boom.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Here, the nodes actually depend more on the client, whereas here the nodes doesn't need to depend on anything, because like the central server takes the care like of the updates and everything.
Cool.
Thank you.